Hello and welcome to another episode of Elden Ring Road to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Here's what happened on the last one. On today's episode, we're going to jump into Liurnia by heading over here to the Church of Erdtree, where we'll pick up a sacred tear and talk to Thops, who is a broke student who's going to ask us for some money. We're going to help him out so we can finish this quest line and then head down to the shoreline side of Grace, from which we'll head over to the Lyscar ruins, where we'll pick up the east portion of the map, then to the Academy Gate town, where we will pick up the north. While we're there, we're also going to grab the golden seed and a smithing stone 3. These of course will let us upgrade our flasks and our weapon. After we do that, we head over to the blood church to talk to our boy Vale, who is now covered in blood and super creepy because he wants to talk about fingers and call us lambkin. He's important for another questline later where we can get to Merwin's palace a little bit quicker, which has been confirmed to be the entry point for the DLC, so obviously super important. Then we're going to head inside to the blood church where we are going to fight our very first sanguine noble. Of course, the greatsword makes this fight not even really a fight, it's just bullying at this point, but he goes down pretty easy and very cool enemy. Then we're going to head over for our first of 2 Erdtree avatars. These guys are going to give us some upgrades for our physic flask, although we're not going to ever use them, we're already set for our build, but we do face quite a few of these guys throughout the game, and some of the later ones hit pretty hard. So because of that, we're going to just take the free runes and get some practice with this moveset. From there, we're going to take a short ride over to the Revenger's Shack, where we're going to fight Edgar the Revenger. Edgar, of course, being Irina's father that we met earlier on in Castle Morn, so this will truly be the end of that questline. He, of course, has become a recusant, which we will learn more about once we get to Volcano Manor, because we are going to also do the same thing as him, where we invade other people's worlds, mostly because they're going to give us some pretty good armor as well as some interesting drops, and of course the runes for leveling is always nice. Now that he's down, we're going to go in here and steal a bunch of his raw meat. Then we're going to head over to the Cuckoo's Everjail, where we're going to run into our boy Bowls carrying the knight. with bowls down, we are going to head outside and go grab the jellyfish shield, which I will probably forget about, but it is going to be something we'll use much later on. That's going to just continue to increase our damage buff. Now we're going to head out onto the lake and pop a bunch of balloons containing golden rune 6s, again to help with leveling. Once we're done with that, we're going to head up the hill, grab the western portion of the map, giving us the full map of Liurnia of the Lakes, and then jump around the King's Realm ruins to talk to E.G. the blacksmith. He, of course, is just going to give us another place to come upgrade our weapon. After we finish our chat with him, he's going to warn us about an area we'll go to later on after the final boss, but for now we're going to head into the Maya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel, where we'll work our way through quite a few miners, pause, and pick up some upgrade materials for our weapon. The boss of this tunnel is one that we will see multiple variations of throughout the game, and that of course is the Crystallian. Once of course we break through that initial armor, we start melting with the greatsword. And with that down, we now have the Smithing Stone Miner's Bellberry. This gives us access to Smithing Stone 1 and 2s in unlimited amounts from the Twin Husk Maidens. Now we head over and pick up the Academy Glintstone key so we can get into the final dungeon of the area, and then we take on Glintstone Dragon Smarl. back in on Torrent. We finish him off and collect our runes. After that, we'll ride over a short ways to the Boil Prawn Shack, where we'll talk to this distinguished gentleman, where we'll take him up on his offer and pick that fight with him. And with him down, we're going to pick up the necklace that he stole and return it to one of my favorite NPCs.
Hello. It's rather chilly here, isn't it? My mistress sent me off on an errand, but I was accosted by a ruffian. Oh yes, thank you kindly. Did I forget to announce? I am Raya, in the service of Lady Tanith of the Volcano Manor. Take this.
She's going to give us the invitation to her Uber service once we get access to Altus Plateau. Then we're going to head over and fight Dawn Thief of Fire at the Malefactor's Everchain. And again, the Greatsword making short work of another humanoid enemy. After taking him down, we're going to head over to the village of the Abanarics, where we're going to run into our girl Nefeli Lu again. We're going to talk to her till we can further her quest line.
Put this time, and though the suffering justice to let the scars I cut.
Then we're going to head up the hill, grab the Grace at the shack, then head up the hill to Albus the Albanaric. He is going to give us half of the Halic Tree Medallion.
And if you should meet the young, then please give it to her.
And after he's done talking, he's going to do a slow peace out, and then we're going to head down the hill across the bridge and fight the Omen Killer. And with the Omen Killer down, we are going to head out of the village of Albanarix, cross the lake a little ways, and we're going to take on the Knights Cavalry of Liurnia South. With runes in hand, we're going to head to the cliff bottom catacombs, where we will run into our first omen. He's going to absolutely yeet us into the floor here, and we're going to make short work of him though, thanks to our great sword. We're going to take on 3 or 4 more of his buddies, absolutely melting them still. And when we take on this final one, we're going to get a pretty sweet axe. We probably won't use it, but it is a pretty cool drop. Then we're going to pull this lever and head on into the boss fight, which, once again, another Erdtree burial watchdog. And with one of my favorite spirit ashes to use in hand, we're going to head outside where we're going to fight a lesser troll. With him down, we're going to go over here and grab the tree spear. Then we're going to head over and take on the Tidia Mariner of Liurnia. Now that we have that done, we're going to go up the hill and fight a Wingdale Knight that's just wandering around. This will be a nice little preview of what becomes just a standard mob later on once we get to enter the capital. After we defeat him, we'll come down here and take out this golem that is guarding the entrance to the Ainsel River. After a lengthy elevator ride, we're going to grab this Grace because we're going to need it later on when we do our episode on the underground areas of the game. But for now, we're going to head over to the Carrion Study Hall, which we will need later as a part of Ronnie's questline. Then we're going to head over and take down 2 special walking mausoleums. These allow you to duplicate specific remembrances. They do not allow you to duplicate the remembrances of demigods. So they will come into play later when we need some more runes for leveling. Now we're going to take out a few ancestral followers on our way to our second Erdtree avatar. down, we've got a couple more tiers for our physic flask that we'll probably never use. But again, good practice because we're going to see this enemy a lot, and some runes in the bag. Then we're going to head on over towards the Church of Inhibition, where we're going to get invaded by Festering Fingerprint Vike. The Great Sword, of course, makes pretty short work of him once we can get him to stop casting Madness. That is going to give us the Spear as well as the Fingerprint Grape, which will be important for completing Hyeda's quest line. After that, we'll head over to the Bellum Highway, where we will take on our second Knights Cavalry. As he goes down, we're going to get another Ash of War as well as his Glaive, which are both pretty cool, but not useful in this run. After that, we're going to talk to this Raisin, and then we're going to head right through the gate thanks to our Glintstone Key. And that is going to wrap up this episode as we're heading into the Academy of Maya Lucaria on the next one. Really appreciate you guys watching if you're still around at this point in the video. I hope you enjoyed this one, a little more action-packed. We covered most of the overworld of Liurnia. We will be doing an episode much later on in the series, closer to the DLC drop, where we just kind of go back and clean up all the stuff we missed, just for runes and just for the fun of it. But that's going to be it for this episode. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit me up in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the build. If you're enjoying it, have you tried the Great Sword? What are some cool tips? Things like that. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.